Sorry about that. A little bit of technical difficulties. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. This is Warren from the Rhapsody Piano Studio. We're going to be working on my Immortal. Okay. Hope it stays on this time. Okay. So, hopefully third time's a charm. Jesus, what is going on? Okay. Did a quick reboot. Hopefully that will take care of the issue. If not, I'll probably just open up a new video. But okay, I'm just gonna give it a few seconds. Jeez. Okay. All right. Like I'm on eggshells here. All right. Well, thank you all for you're still there. Thanks for being patient with me. For the internet, that is. Okay. Looks like it's okay. Thank God. Jeez. All right. Still there? Still there? Okay. All right. Welcome to today's live stream. This is going to be my Immortal. It's for intermediate piano. I'm still hoping this doesn't shut off. Yeah, so this is going to be for intermediate piano, my Immortal. Make sure you hit up the cards in the live stream after the live stream is over, as well as the description below for links to the sheet music. And you want to think of these lessons as step-by-step guide on how to practice correctly. Yes, it is a really sad song, but it's like beautiful, like bittersweet. It's like how I like to call it. You want to think of these lessons as the step-by-step process on how to practice correctly. Then when you are understanding the things I'm showing you here, only way to really test yourself out, to test your knowledge, is to head on over to the tutorial as well. Okay, so the lessons are more like the step-by-step instructions, and the tutorial is like the to see if you can actually understand what I'm showing you here, like the little test. Okay, yeah, in other words, it's kind of like opposite of how most people think of what a tutorial is. All right, that's just my definition, and I can call it whatever I want. Okay, all right. Before we start, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and the notification bell if you want to catch whenever I go live. All right, finally, let's get this party started. Hope you guys are all doing well today. Hi, Charles. Thank you. Yes, Caitlin as well. Hi, Morgan. Hi, Micah. How you doing today? Okay. You guys are really making me happy as a piano teacher, by the way. Okay. My Immortal. I'm going to show you how to practice this. Okay, so that's pretty much the first step. Now, looks like this is interesting. It's an A major. Although, oddly enough, it doesn't sound like it's an A major. So we're going to have F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. I like to say it in that order because that's how it goes. This is, let me check it out to see how many pages this is. Just want to give you guys a little bit more info. So 1, 2, 3 pages. Although it's a bit longer because it's just repetitive. It just repeats a lot of sections, but it's overall about 3 pages long. Okay? Alright, so what I basically did for you in the beginning is play the first part, which is like the intro, right? Which is the first 4 measures, and you always want to stop one note into the next measure. So I went from beginning to measure 5. With that, we're just going to do hands separate. I'm going a little bit faster here, just so you can see the pattern. So you see, those are just the notes, and we are thinking about this is intermediate, so I want to kind of show you a little bit more advanced concepts. I would just practice it this way, okay? Because you do it this way, it's almost like your fingers kind of get imprinted into the exact position it should be in, all right? I'll try to keep this as less nerd talk as possible, but so that's basically the first measure, okay? You're just figuring out which one of these notes you're alternating in between, okay? So it's just basically this. If you hear it, just if I want to separate 2 hands. First 2 measures, then the next 2 measures. So you can think of these notes on the bottom. They just remain the same, stationary, if you want to think of it that way. So it's just these top notes. You can think of it as a melody, I guess. Okay, so that's a really good way to practice, so you really hear the harmonic progression and what the melody is doing there. Hear that? can understand on this level, then you get beyond the notes. You don't have to think note by note or even rhythm by rhythm. Makes it a whole lot simpler. Although it does take a while to get used to that. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna play one more time and see if you can hear that pattern within each one of these notes. Of course, if you're advanced enough, you could do a little harmonic analysis on this if you want. I'm not going to do it for the whole piece. Right? This is like a 1 chord, right? A major going into a 3, C sharp minor. So it's just A major, C sharp minor, A major, C sharp minor. Okay? Alright. Now, let's just play it together from the beginning to measure 5. Just right hand. Ready? Go. If you notice, this is also why you should be practicing your technique, having all your scales and especially arpeggios dialed in, because this is pretty much all arpeggios, okay? All right, here's the left hand. Really beautiful tune, by the way. Okay, so you see that? Just going this octave with the 5th degree note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why we call it the 5th degree, okay? The 5th note. Same thing here. 5th. So instead of doing this, I would just practice it this way. Okay? Alright. If you want to actually make it more challenging, it's always a good idea to make it more challenging than the actual the way it's written. And I have no idea why it's blurry on the side, by the way. I don't think we'll get up here, so, you know, whatever. Yeah, so instead of just counting it the whole way, I would just practice going from these positions as much as possible, because you're just practicing the motion, the movement, and you want to get that as automatic as possible, aka you can think of it as muscle memory. Alright, now try that with me from the beginning to measure 5. Ready? Go. Okay, then we go to both hands. I definitely recommend practicing with the metronome as well. Now, taking that idea of, you know, that little harmonic analysis I showed you in the beginning, you can just block all these out. Because in a way, you're kind of creating the blueprint, and then when we play one note at a time, you're filling in all those details again. Okay? Alright. Now let's try it together from the beginning to measure 5. Ready? Go. Okay, and then I'm using different finger numbers here than the ones that they recommend, just because the way they write it, you don't get a good legato. You have to depend on pedal a lot, and I don't want to depend on pedal as much as possible, okay? I mean, it's not like I don't want to use it, but you don't want to use it as a crutch. So anytime you can create a legato, like for instance, let's say 5, 1, 3, 1, it's not a good fingering. I would go 5, 1, maybe even 5, 2, or 4, 2, because you can connect it to the C sharp. This, you see, kind of clips it off, okay? So whenever possible, create a good legato. Okay. So that was the first part of practicing. First 2 steps, I should say. Pick a small chunk and do hands separate, back to hands together. It's like simplifying different, you know, like combinations. Now, I'm gonna continue from measure 5. Okay, and then we'll just break it down to 4 measures again. I like 4 measures so far. It's not always that way, which is why you do small chunks at a time. You kind of have to think a little bit. Is it going to be like an odd number, even number? It's not always going to follow the same progression, depending on the song. Okay. All right, right hand. And if you notice, the rhythm gets a little bit trickier here in the melody. Not too tricky, but you know. And we're still going in between A major and C sharp minor. Okay. And look at measure 7. See how the melody kind of changes up there. Only difference though, we have the melody and they want you to hold the bottom note as much as possible. Maybe here, depending on the size of your hand, 1-3 might not work so well. So, you know, 1-4 as well, okay? Alright, so whenever I'm showing you how to play these and the finger numbers I'm using, if you don't like it, if it doesn't feel good to you, remember, these are just suggestions. Change it to whatever you like. Alright, let me play it for you one more time. 5 to stopping at the end of measure 8 because there's a rest in measure 9, so whatever. Actually, you know what? I'll go into measure 9 a little bit. Okay, I don't know if I counted that exactly right. Alright, but let's just try it now. From the beginning, not beginning, measure 5 to measure 9. Ready? Go. Okay, and then also, it is a bit more difficult. That's something you'll find. Sometimes it's more difficult to count because the left hand is keeping the rhythm here. So doing the right hand by itself is actually kind of challenging. Hey Charles, how you doing? Okay, left hand here. Are you sensing the pattern? See that? So once you know the basic pattern, you kind of just go back and forth. It's the same thing. You're just switching up the sequence of the notes. Very simple, right? Okay, 5 to 9. Ready, go. Okay, Charles, I'm just kind of curious. I wonder, are they opening up businesses over there? Like, how's it going with like the lockdown? So over here in Orange County, like they're just all of a sudden like everything's open. Don't know how to feel about that, but I'm gonna sit back and kind of see what happens for a while. All right, 5 to 9. Okay, try it together. Ready, go. Okay, June, huh? Wow, okay, so we're ahead of you over here. Interesting. All right, so for measure 9, I might as well play both hands. That's measure 13. So basically, still going from this harmony, okay? Now here, when you are practicing the right hand, I recommend playing the first note in the left hand because you can just play the beat. Otherwise, you have to count the 16th note rest. That's kind of complicated. It's kind of tedious in my opinion. So just play the left hand, just the first note, like that, okay? And then. definitely practice with the metronome for this one, okay? If you practice with the metronome, you don't have to worry about counting the rest because you'll hear that click, click. Okay, hope that makes sense. Okay, now if you notice measure 10, more notes on the bottom. You can think of these as sub melodies. Okay, I kind of brought that out a little bit more. When you play these, it's with your thumb, so try not to play too heavily because our thumbs are pretty thick. Okay, you get a lot of sound out of that. So it's kind of like you're leaning towards the top note. Okay, and then same thing at measure 12. Okay, you don't want that too loud. You see how it crowds out the melody, which is on top. Okay, so here as well, another good way to practice is just to take that note out first, and then put it back in there and see if you can keep the balance in the right directions. You hear that? I'm still highlighting that melody. You don't want it. See how that kind of crowds that out. All right. Of course, that's an advanced thing. So just attempt to do that if you can. All right, left hand. We're gonna start with the left hand and then play the right hand. Okay. This is 9, stopping at measure 13. Ready, go. Kind of lost the beat there, but sorry about that. We'll fix it as we go along. Left hand, I'm actually going to skip playing this because the same exact pattern. All right, so this is also why you want to do hands separate because sometimes there are. I mean, this is very similar because if you compare measure 7, no, not 7, measure 6 to measure 10, the only difference is you're just playing more notes here, and measure 7, you're just playing that as a half note. Okay, so I really see no reason to practice that unless you're having difficulty with it. Okay, so this part, you don't actually have to do hands separate. You just need to do right hand and then hands together. Okay, so you see how it saves time when you chunk it this way. Okay, all right, measures 9 to measure 13, both hands. Ready, go. Okay, so that's measure 13. At this point, I would definitely go back and put it together. However, it's really up to you if you want to include the intro. You can just go back to measure 5 and put it together all the way to measure 13. Okay, but just as a bonus for you guys, I will take it from the very beginning. Now I'm going to show you from the beginning all the way to measure 13. Don't worry, we're going to go back and practice this. Okay, now we're just going to take the right hand. Okay, now we're going to try it together, and I'll tell you, if this is your first time practicing this way, it's going to be difficult. You might not even be able to successfully try it the first time. Of course, practice is doing it more than once. Get that into your head. Alright, as many times as necessary, okay? But don't overdo it, by the way. So try it with me from the beginning together. Alright, remember, and this is your first time, and if you're not getting it, just be patient, okay? Practicing longer sections takes time because one is in a technical way where it's just a lot more notes, so it's harder to keep up. The other thing is concentration. Okay, if you're used to just like like running a mile every day, you're not all of a sudden just gonna be able to do 5 miles, not without a lot of difficulty. Okay, so it takes like time to build that up, to build up that endurance. The same thing with your mentals. Okay, mentals, I guess, mentality. I need to sneeze. All right, that was into my shoulder. Don't worry. Okay, right hand, ready, go. Okay, now remember what I said about the left hand? I don't think you really even need to practice this part. You just have to really pay attention. So just practicing this pattern in a variety of different ways is good too. So you could just do this. And it's basically the only two patterns you need to practice for this entire first page. Okay? Alright, so instead of doing left hand, unless you want to practice it, go ahead. Alright, we're gonna do both hands together now. So right hand, hands together. Let's just try at the same time. Ready, go. One thing I do want to say, measure 9, I'm using my pinky. You might want to try different finger numbers because it is kind of hard to play with your pinky, I guess, because on one sense people think it's the weakest finger. It is not the weakest finger. It's just it's kind of out here. It's small. Okay. So when you have repeated notes like this, you really have to keep your wrist loose. Okay. Because a lot of people just keep this straight and it's just really awkward and it makes things tense and even painful. Okay. See this? I'm kind of bouncing my hand up and down. But there's a fine balance. You got to do it enough. It's like dribbling a basketball, okay? If you haven't dribbled a basketball, I don't really know what to say to you. Dribbling a basketball does take a little bit of control because if you don't do it enough, it won't bounce, all right? And then if you do too much, it'll like go straight up in the air. So it's kind of like a yo-yo effect, okay? You don't want to turn technical because it's still a melody. So it's the right amount of balance, and then that you can only get through experience, my friends. Okay, we're gonna keep it going from measure 13. All right, we'll take it from the pickup because it's a tie. It's kind of awkward to not play with that. All right, so this section. All the way to 17. Okay, so. Now, F sharp minor, okay? Or if you want to think of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 6 of A major. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to know a little harmonic analysis, alright? And then back to, and now here, back to C. So look, F minor to C minor again, F minor, C minor, F minor, C minor, and then E major, okay? Which is the 5, okay? So you can think of it also as 6, what is this? 3, 6, 3, 5. Okay, that's basically all it's doing. Okay, all right. Little bit more complications in the left hand, not too much difficulty. So here. All right. So they want you to roll it. When you roll this chord, do it one step at a time. So first, this is how I would practice this. Just blocking it like that. Because if you can't even do this, then the roll is going to be not possible. So this is what I'll practice first. Then what I would practice is that. Now, stay with me. From here, then from there, then that, then that. Okay, so it's really breaking it down one step at a time. Okay, so let me show you again. In fact, you could just do this. Then you could do this. Then. Okay, so then just try to go for it like 100% every time. Just break it up into manageable parts. It really help. Okay. Yeah. So that's the best way to practice this, in my opinion. And then if you look at measure 16, it's the same pattern. So as long as you know the pattern, you can kind of bypass practicing in a way, right? Okay, so basically it's just going from here to here to here. Okay, that's the basic pattern. It's not too complex there. All right, let's try that together. Left hand, ready, go. Okay, measure 17. Now the right hand. And I'm taking from the pick up. I don't know why I said pick up, right? Okay, we'll try that together. Ready, go. Okay, back to both hands. Okay, I'm gonna measure 17. We're gonna keep it going. Actually, what you could do is go back to the beginning and put it together, you know, all the way from the beginning. I'm not gonna do that because it's a long song, okay? Maybe, yeah, I'm just gonna skip that part. It's really slow. It's too long, to be honest. But if you love this song, go ahead. So this is a good place to go back to the beginning and put it together, okay? Because 17, from 17 sounds like a different section entirely, okay? So 17, second page. Okay, so I'm actually gonna stop at 24, but you see, it's really kind of the same thing over and over and over again. So although very beautiful song, you know, but very repetitive. Okay, so the pattern here was a little trickier about this part. It's just the rhythm. It's just a little bit more trickier. So okay, and then it's kind of difficult. They want 1-4, 1-5. I guess if you can do that, I do 1-4 and then 2-5, and then switch to here. To a 1-4 if you want. I could do a 2-4, but that might not be good for both hands because there's a bit of a stretch. I'm pretty flexible with my reach, so this gives me no problems. Even this, all right. I wouldn't do that just because it's so awkward on so many levels, but this is also not a problem for me. But for you, if it is, switch to like a 1-4, even a 1-3. Okay. I just do this. You can see it in the video too, the tutorial. Some pedal here, so you want to hold on to that note as much as possible. This is kind of tricky because it's really, the melody is doing this, okay, but then we have a repeated note on the bottom at the same time with the thumb, okay? So you might want to practice both. First this, and then this, okay? But really, it's connecting up to here. Not this. This is not a double repeated note. It's going to here, but the way that it's written out Sounds like that, okay? Hope that wasn't too confusing. All right, this is 19. Okay, try it together. Measure 17. I'll help you count this. So we're gonna count. Ready, go, 1. Okay, so I'm gonna say that 1 in there because you kind of need to know where to place the note. All right, measure 17. Ready, go, 1. All right, I didn't do that right. I kind of zoned out. Let me try it again. Sorry, I just started thinking about something else. Sorry about that. 17. Ready, go, 1. All right, it's kind of funny point. It's hard not to daydream, right? All right, left hand. Same thing here. Okay, so it's just this. Remember practicing those sequences again. Same thing here. So this is measure 18, and then, and then, and then. Okay. Ways to practice the roll to make it automatic. You could just try counting it first, and then faster, faster, faster. I'm just kind of getting up to that pattern. Because I'm not really thinking bottom, middle, top, okay? I'm just letting it flow, right? That takes some time. So this, that's basically this entire section, okay? So this is all you need to practice. Okay? Then, with the roll, try it with me. I'm just gonna give you the first 2 measures because it's all the same. Ready, go. Okay? Alright, now we're gonna go back to both hands. Oh, it's kind of loud, sorry. Alright, let me try that together. Ready, go. Okay, now I'm just gonna break down measure 24. Now we have this 4-note group, 16ths. And your right hand is gonna cross over here. Okay, see that? So get ready as soon as possible. As soon as I'm done playing this, I don't just hold this the whole way. You just pedal to get that done anyway. You just move it where you can. That way I'm already here, and then works out like that, and then back to. And this is like the intro. So I'm obviously not gonna practice that, okay? So. And obviously here, you don't need to do hand separate practice. In fact, that's kind of awkward. So it's also another reason you want to do small chunks to figure out where exactly you need to do hand separate, okay? All right, let's try that together. This is 24. Ready, go. Okay, and then you can put this whole section together, this whole page. Then, if you wanted, you go all the way from the beginning and put it together all the way to here, to where we stopped so far. I'm not gonna do that because it's gonna make everything insanely long, okay? All right, now the last part to practice is the bridge. That's about it. Because let me tell you something. If you look at the Coda, you can see right here, it's all the same. It's really not that much different.
it's subtle, very subtle. We will go over it, but it's very repetitive, and we'll just knock it out like that once you get a handle like on these patterns. Okay. All right. So we're just gonna practice the bridge and then head on over to the coda after that. But I just want to ask you at this point, if you're still with me, I'm guessing that you like what I'm doing. All right. If you enjoyed this lesson, hit the like button. It really does help me out. Like seriously, it helps me. Okay. You just think it's like a little thumbs up. It doesn't do anything. It does. It helps me a lot on my channels. Then like my other videos too, by the way, if you're at it. And after you're done with this lesson, just be a good person. I'm not saying you're a bad person, but share this video as much as possible with people who would love to play this on piano. Okay, this is a free lesson. Wanted to get this out there to as many people as possible. Okay, now here's the bridge. Break this part down, okay? So first 4 measures again. This is measures 31 to measure 35, which is the right hand. This has enough variety where we'll change it, but again, look, it's just very simple patterns. So you practice your chords and your arpeggios. That's really all you need. This is basically like a D major, kind of like like an octave in a way with arpeggio pattern. Same thing here. C major, C, F sharp minor again. See that? Just a new pattern. Okay. Also, a little trick too. If you don't want to do your arpeggios and whatnot, I think that's a terrible idea not to practice your arpeggios and scales. When people say I don't practice my scales and arpeggios, it's not anything to be proud of, bro. Okay. If you come across a pattern that is tricky for you, then I recommend turning that into like a little technical exercise. So do it in every single key. Just transpose it is what it's called. So this, you're like, oh, that's kind of tricky. I would like to practice that a little bit more. You don't actually have to do it in those keys. You can start from C major, then go through as many different random keys. Of course, this is major. You can also do minor versions. All right, so the possibilities are limitless because we just go with C. If we do it from C, then you could change it up to minor. Okay, you go literally every one of these keys like this. Major, minor, same thing here, and then I don't know. Let's pick another random one. How about E flat or E flat, and then minor. Anyway, you get my point. So just transpose that to many different keys as possible. Really will increase your technique a lot. Okay. All right, here's just the right hand. Okay, now, whenever possible, if you look at 32, we have 2 whole notes on the bottom. It's kind of tricky. So switching between those, because a lot of people have a lot of hard, they have a hard time with this because this is it's what you call finger independence, just your control of the fingers. So I'll just demonstrate it here like this way, and then I'll take the 2. This is also a good exercise, by the way. Like a simple 5-finger pattern, and if I can this is limitless, then you can do as many different 2 notes patterns as possible, right? So I can do this, then this, then this, then this, then this. I mean, it's really endless the patterns you can do with these. All right. If you want more tips on that, like how to get the finger control, I have a video. One of my older live streams that I actually talked about advanced finger independence exercises. And sorry, you kind of have to just Google it or YouTube it. Rhapsody Piano Studio advanced finger independence. That's a mouthful, but trust me, it's a good video. Like I said, I don't think it's a great video. It's like one of my older videos, but for some reason it's really taken off. Important concepts, but that has to do with finger independence. Sorry, it's a lot to explain. Okay, so watch that video for more practice on that. This is super hard to do actually. I make it look easy but trust me, to get to this point took a long time. Okay. If I use no pedal, you hear that? Okay. So like, the tendency is you use a lot of pedal, you'll kind of let go of that and depend on that, right? And then these all they all blur in together, so you have to have a lot of control, okay? All right, this is 31 to 35. Let's try right hand together. Ready, go. Let me count that better. Ready, go. You're very welcome, Charles. I appreciate you, as always. Yeah, everyone give it up for Charles. He's one of my biggest supporters. Appreciate you every time you come on these live streams, and don't ever take it for granted. Okay, left hand. Remember this pattern again? Okay, so you can practice it this way. Okay, and then play it like normal. I don't know why I did this. All right, left hand, 31 to 35. Ready, go. Then back to both hands. Okay, one other thing I want to mention might get confusing because when you do this by yourself with the right hand, like right hand, you can hold on to these, but when you put the left hand in there, you have to let go because the left hand is going to play these notes. So some of these notes you will have to let go, but try to hold on to the other ones as much as possible. All right, register 31. Ready, go. All right, keeping it up. What am I saying? Keeping it going. Register 35. We're gonna finish off this bridge. That's up to 39. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you. I'm just looking ahead here to tell you what to expect for this this whole bridge section. Okay, so instead of like 2 chunks at a time, sometimes it's not even numbers, like I was saying, with the number of measures. This also has to do with the parts. So this is the way I hear it, it's a 3-part bridge. Okay, so I played the second part for you here. So those next 4 measures, right? And then we have another 4 measures, which will be the 3rd section of this part. Okay, so just telling you what to expect. Here's just the right hand from 35. Count that better. Yeah, so a lot of these notes are off beats, which is why it's kind of throwing me off here as well. Okay, 35 to 38. Ready, go. Okay, left hand, basic pattern again. This, this, this. Okay? B minor chord. This is actually an A major inversion. If you actually saw one of my videos came out last week, I'm showing inversions in all keys. So this is why you practice these, like arpeggios, inversions, and scales. When my students get to a certain level, I start hammering that into them, okay? So this is a A major chord, first inversion, and then D major, root position, it's original, right? So B minor, A major inversion, D major, and then, what is this? Yes, sounds weird without the root. Okay, so this is also A major, okay? Because the A major is in the A's in the right hand here. Missing in the left hand, which is why it sounds so odd to me. Okay, left hand. Can you see the pattern? Okay, try it together. Ready? And I like to hold the bass note. You hear that? Because it helps me pedal this. Okay, because it kind of sounds naked without it. Hear that? So, look, I'm not using any pedal right now. Adds a nice resonance, okay? Alright, back to both hands. Well, what in the world happened there? Okay, try it together. Ready, go. Okay, so this is 38. We're gonna go all the way to 42. There's a DS Al Coda there. If you don't know what that means, I'll explain it when we get there. So now the next part is gonna be 38 to 42. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 measure sections. So look, odd number, right? Okay, so this is why you do chunks at a time. It's not 4 measures. It's 5 measures this time. Wow. Okay, so 38. Actually, I guess you could say this is like a one measure transition. So yeah, the next part is actually 4 measures plus this 1 measure. That doesn't make sense, then I'm sorry. I don't know how to explain that. Yeah, but if you hear the harmony should not be a surprise. That's just going from F sharp minor, D major, E major, C sharp minor. If you want to use numbers, 6, 4, 5, 3. Okay? Alright. Sorry, you're gonna have to be up a little bit on harmonic analysis for that. Alright, right hand, here is measure 38. Okay, measure 40. How to practice this? Okay, it's all about the turn in the. It's like a scale, right? So first, I will play that with a 3. You can even use a 5 if you want, if you can handle that. 5 first, and then you just build up more notes at a time. Then, okay, 4. If you use a 5, I would use a 4th finger. This is difficult because there's like 2 different motions going on at the same time. First is this, going back to the 5, and then moving your fingers to here. Okay, so 2 different motions here. It's kind of difficult. So that's what you need to practice there, okay? Alright. If anything, if you're practicing scales, then that'll help. Alright, measure 38, right hand, ready, go. Alright, left hand. Yeah, see, they have little arrow signs here, which is basically you want to accent those notes, which means to bring them out a bit, okay? Alright, left hand, measure 38, ready, go. Back to both hands. Okay, now we're gonna put this whole bridge together from the previous page. Let me play both hands. Then we're just gonna do it the way we've been doing it the whole entire time. Hands separate, hands together, okay? This is for measure 31 now. That's not the right note. ready, go. Sorry about that. Hey, Will Bob. Sorry, just a little bit. This is a lesson, so I try to keep focused on this. If you come to our Saturday live stream, we take all requests there actually, so you can make a request and we'll play for you. All right, now here's the left hand. Measure 31. Okay, try that together. Ready, go. And back to both hands. Okay, ready, go. Okay, now I'm gonna explain what a DSL Coda is. Then I'm just going to show you the Coda. I'm not gonna play it for you because it's all the same. I will play it for you, but I want you to practice it on your own because good God, it's almost been an hour for this entire lesson. Okay, so DSL Coda, you see that sign? All right, it says DSL Coda and there's like a little snake sign. I always think of Slytherin or something like that. Okay, snake sign. You can see that on the first page. If you go back to the first page, is that on the first page? It's not on the first page. It's on the second page, what I'm talking about. All right, the top of the second page is the same sign. So that's all that means is DSL Coda is you go back to the second page and you start from where that sign is, okay? Watch my video for more reference to see how it goes. Then when you go to measure 24 on page number 2, it says to Coda. Then you just go to the Coda and that's how you end the song, okay? All right, now I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to play the Coda for you, just so you hear what it sounds like. Practice it on your own because, man, this is a long lesson. And then after I play this Coda for you, stick around because I'll give you a quick recap and also my recommendations on how to plan your practice, okay? All right, left hand. So this is like the intro. Hi, Teo. 48, all it does is you just go up one octave. It's the same pattern. Nothing new in the left hand. And then practice this jump, right? It's basically A major chord. And that's the end of this lesson. Here's a quick recap, and then plus a plan how to practice this. This is my Immortal. It's an A major, although it's kind of interesting. It doesn't sound like an A major, although it is an A major. Okay, it's 3 pages, but with all those repeats and it's a slow song, it just makes it way longer. So a good way to practice, just in general, not only for this, chunks at a time, small parts at a time. I tell my students. Am I still on? Yes, I am still on. My internet's going out. Okay. My Wi-Fi. You know how it is these days. So small parts at a time. You pick the small section. Turned out to be about 4 measures or so. It's not always 4 measures, not always the same number. Okay, it could be 4 measures, could be 5 measures. You pick a small part, then you practice that hand separate, then back to both hands together. Then you pick another part, you do the same thing. Then when you have one part and another part, you put that all together. Okay, actually, if you come on our Saturday live stream, we take requests there. This is more for the lessons to keep focused on what I'm playing. We would love to help you out. So come on our Saturday live stream. We'll take any and all requests. So you could just go down a list if you want. My wife will sight read all of them for you. Okay. All right. So this is 3 pages, like I was saying. All right. Back on track. So you have one part, you have another part, and you just basically build it together. So like if you have like the first page. Let's say it just turned out to be about 3 sections. You practice each one of those 3 sections separately. Then you put it all the way together, okay? And then review this lesson because I went through a lot of different practice hacks and all that, like to, chords and, really time-saving ways and still making improvements. So you're gonna wanna review this lesson and other lessons as much as possible, okay? Now, I'm trying to see, am I still on? Yes, I'm still on. Okay, jeez. What's up with the internet today? Okay. How to plan this? Definitely don't try to get the whole thing done in one day. Because look, it took me a whole entire hour to practice this. Not practice, but to show you how to play it, okay? It's going to take you way longer than that. So I think even in the first day, you might not even get the first page done. So I would definitely plan out like what you're going to practice from day to day. Like and even in the week. So on the day-to-day, you have some goals. And in the week, you have a goal. So like, at the end of the week, 1 week goal might be to like, okay, I'm going to get the first page done, okay? And then within each day, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to practice these measures. The next day, I'm going to practice these measures. The next day, okay, I got to review this and then practice that. It's I know people don't want to sit down and write down their scheduling and all that and planning, but if you do it, it'll take maybe 5 to 10 minutes the first time. It's going to save you like an hour. Trust me on that, okay? If you don't plan your practice, you're just like a fish out of water. You're gonna just be like flopping about, okay? It's a waste of time, okay? So really plan out your practice. That's my #1 tip for you guys. Just plan it out, and then you'll get better. And then the first week, first couple, maybe a month, you're not gonna know what you're doing, but after a while, you're really gonna understand it, okay? And then you're gonna find out, okay, you're gonna get good at the scheduling stuff, and then like me, you'll get addicted to it. I love just organizing and scheduling. I used to be so disorganized to begin with. And then this really changed my life, really changed the way I teach, really changed the way I practice. So really try that out, okay? All right, thank you guys so much. Really long lesson today, but always enjoyable for me to put this free content out online. Like this video, share this video, make sure you subscribe, and also notification bell if you want to catch whenever I go live. All right, got some more tutorials coming out the rest of this week. Thank you, Morgan. I'll see you later. I'll see you Saturday, okay? She's my student, so I'm gonna teach her on Saturday. If you guys understood what's going on there. Also Saturday we do have our live stream, okay? So hope to see you guys there. Thank you, Teo. I'll see you later. Goodbye. Hope you guys are being safe. Hope you guys are staying healthy. Get your sunshine, your vitamin D. Also exercise, eat healthy, and all that, okay? All right. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time. Happy practicing.